pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 196. Pausing after upset. Sometimes, quite suddenly and quite inexplicably, something happens that just effortlessly finds its way inside of us. Sometimes something happens that just gets in under our skin. Sometimes we are pierced by something just bypassing all of our natural defenses, and it just hits us. And when something like that happens, we are shaken. We have a sudden loss of control because something in a very direct, instant way managed to hurt us, even though we thought it was not possible. Today's episode is called Pausing After Upset. And today is a good opportunity for me personally to pause for a second or two and spend some time with this phenomenon. Yesterday, something seemingly small that happened during my day just shook me. It was something small and sort of, kind of everyday almost. But it just found its way through my defenses. And in a matter of few minutes maybe, I just could feel that from deep within. I just got terribly upset. And today is the day after. And that is why we sit down for a second or two and just think for a moment about what is such a thing. What is it to become so instantaneously upset? And what is it to then be upset for some time, however long that time might be, And what is it to pause then? What is it to pause during us being upset? And what is it to pause after? How do they relate to one another? For how long are we upset? For how long should we be upset? Can we cut our time of being upset short? Is it desirable to do so? Do we want to stay upset forever? So today is an episode about where all of these questions sort of meet, the sort of core or sort of crossing point where us becoming upset and then the aftermath of us being upset and how that relates to pausing. So pausing after upset. So if we just take a step back for a second and look at this phenomenon, it seems that how we are upset is personal. How I get upset and how you get upset are not the same thing. And still they are at the same time. How we get upset has to do with our expectations of how we should be in our culture, in our given culture. And cultures differ. In some cultures, people are not expected to be upset long at all, but to perhaps not even show that initial signs of being upset. Just sort of pushing it all down, never expressing being upset. Not at least when it happens. In other cultures, at the other extreme, people are expected to show that they are upset very expressively, very vividly, and for a long time. To sort of mourn or cry out in a very demonstrative way. And then we have everything in between. Us becoming upset at a given moment. And then sort of two things conversing with each other, two things happening at the same time, two things sort of sharing something. So we become upset at some moment, and then firstly, we are upset. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is we have this sort of cue or voice inside of us, or force maybe, sort of telling us how we should be upset, for how long and in what way. So we have these two sort of intermingling forces. And then it's quite a ride. So it's the moment of impact, the moment of getting upset. And then these two negotiators sort of take us for a ride. We are upset, we try to do something about it. We get upset again, we try to do something else about it. Back and forth, to and from. It's like a roller coaster. And I reckon that you, the listener, can hear in my voice that to some degree I am still upset. You can hear it in my voice that it hasn't subsided. And if you listen carefully, which you do, you can hear that. You can hear the two different negotiators or the two different elements in my situation right now. You can hear that I have this sort of upset feeling, but you can also hear that there is this sort of, how am I supposed to be upset right now? How am I supposed to show it or sort of cover it up? This sort of dynamics going on. And this dynamics between these two is very interesting. It is interesting when we pause and see these two go to work, when we see these two do their dance or do something to us. I am upset, yes, but I'm also at the same time concerned about the effects of my being upset. And these two things are true at the same time. And that's what's interesting. When two things are true at the same time and that they jointly sort of make for what in this moment is me. And after all, it comes down to that something actually made me upset. Something very real made me upset. Something very real made me upset. And as I now pause and make some space and time for this dynamics, my upset feeling and my concern for what second-hand effects my upset feeling will have on my surroundings, other people. As I am spending time with this now, as I am pausing now, probably you are in this moment getting in touch with something in yourself that you are upset about. Something that in a similar way just found its way inside of you. And chances are high that you are probably thinking something about this or having some images, some memories, some physical experiences of this. You can hear it in my voice, the sort of emotional place I'm talking about. And you're probably in quite a similar state in this moment. You are also spending time right now with your upset feeling on the one hand, the one truth, and your concern on the other hand. Your concern about what consequences will come from you being upset. And then both you and me are holding this third thing. This third truth. Could be that they are the same for you and me in some sense, but still two different things in another sense. We're holding this third thing, and that is that something real made us upset. We were going along, having our day, being not upset, and then something third, something real, made us upset, found its way in, reminded us of something. Leaving us at the mercy of some force doing unto us. And we feeling quite at a loss. And we will see how these two keep on doing their thing. Us being upset and us at the same time being concerned about what us being upset will do to our surroundings and ourselves. And then we also have this third thing, the actual thing or the actual someone who made us upset for reasons. That's it for today. Thank you.